Bring back rock.
Hey, it's Dean. Welcome to Bring Back Rock. Today I'm going to tell you about a band that was introduced to me by a girl that was a friend of mine back in the day. She was way too cool and way too hot to be hanging out with me. It's hard to be too cool and too hot, but she pulled it off. But we got each other, which isn't always easy to find when you're 15. So, this album, I'm about $200 in this album. I bought the vinyl, I bought the re-releases on CD, I burned through a few cassettes. I even paid somebody about $50. This is about 1990 when CD burners first came out, and he was a couple towns over and offering to put vinyl or cassette onto CD for like $50 a pop. The band is, I was going to say one of my favorite bands, but they don't have a long enough, big enough body of work to be a favorite band. So one of my favorite albums. I'm going to tell you a little bit about them, play some clips of their music, and catch up with you at the end. The band is Candy, and the album is Whatever Happened to Fun. Whatever did happen to fun? You know, we used to have a lot of fun. Yeah, we still have fun. It's just not as much as we did when we were young and dumb. So here's Candy. Prior to forming Candy, bassist Jonathan Daniels wanted to be a punk with pop sensibilities like the Ramones and Generation X. He was at the Starwood the night Motley Crue opened up for Y&T at their first show. He saw Nikki Sixx sitting at the bar and said, "I want to be that guy." And really, who didn't want to be that guy? Candy formed in 1981, and after just one show decided they needed a new guitarist. They held auditions and it came down to two players, CeCe DeVille and Gilby Clarke. The band went with Gilby Clarke, and even with all his success with Poison, CeCe DeVille still gives Jonathan Daniel a hard time about choosing Gilby over him. The band found an early supporter in the man they call the Duke of Dreams, the legendary Kim Fowley, who regaled them with tales of the business, gave them advice, and also produced a couple early demos. The band's popularity grew, and they were signed to Polygram Records, where they released their debut album, Whatever Happened to Fun, in 1985. Now, there are a couple reasons the band didn't hit big. The first was, just as the album was released, there was a shakeup at the record company. There was even a memo sent out saying that the company was not going to put their promotional muscle behind the band. So even as the first single, Whatever Happened to Fun, was gaining traction at radio stations and the video was gaining airplay on MTV and Nickelodeon, yes, I saw the video on Nickelodeon, they received virtually no support from the record company. The second reason is they were not easily pigeonholed. They purposely had a very pop-friendly sound and contrasted that with darker lyrics filled with teen angst, which I found great. The band singer Kyle Vincent always wanted to push the band more towards a pop sound, while the rest of the guys wanted to push the band towards a more rock sound. So when the album didn't hit, they split ways and Kyle Vincent went off to start a solo career. The band held auditions for singers. Even Ricky Rackman of Headbangers Ball fame auditioned to be in the band. In the end, Gilby Clarke was tapped to be the new singer, and they hired a second guitarist, Ryan Roxie, who many of you might know from his time and collaborations with Alice Cooper. The band's classic lineup was Kyle Vincent on vocals, Gilby Clarke on guitar, Jonathan Daniel on bass, and John Schubert on drums. They had one major label release, Whatever Happened to Fun, in 1985. The album was re-released in 2012 on Rock Candy Records. Also, Kyle Vincent released a 25th anniversary edition that was remastered and included a live show of 7 songs. They also released Teenage Neon Jungle in 2003 on Songtree Records. The album had some unreleased demos of songs off Whatever Happened to Fun, and some live tracks. Alright, where are they now? Gilby Clarke, you might have heard, joined a small band called Guns N' Roses, replacing Izzy Stradlin. He's produced and played on numerous albums, including Slash's first solo album. He has released 5 solo studio albums, latest being The Gospel Truth, so check that out. Oh, he was also a member of the made-for-TV band Rockstar Supernova with Tommy Lee from Motley Crue and Jason Newsted of Metallica. Kyle Vincent, at last count, has released 14 solo albums. John Schubert is teaching history in middle school. Jonathan Daniel, well, he formed a small management company called Crush Management. They discovered Fall Out Boy and managed artists such as Sia, Fall Out Boy, Green Day, Weezer, Panic at the Disco, and Butch Walker. Just a small company that I hope will eventually find success. Now, John Schubert and Jonathan Daniel also formed the band Electric Angels and the Loveless. I've got a cool Electric Angels Bon Jovi fact, but I'm going to save that in case we do an Electric Angels show down the road. So now I'm going to play you some clips from Candy, let you hear what they sound like for yourself if you don't already know, and I'll catch up with you at the end.
Now I've got nowhere to go, so I turn on a TV show. But nothing good comes on, it never does. Whatever happened to fun? Whatever happened to fun? Whatever happened to fun? Whatever happened to fun? Whatever happened to you and me? We were gonna be rich and famous. East side, west side, suicide. You need a fix for kicks, don't get too high. It's a long way from the junkyard to the sunset. Hey, what's the matter? You look so upset to see your best friend, and she's such a mess, a self-destructive generation X. Got a telephone cord wrapped around her neck. Outsiders looking in, we're just kids with nothing to believe in. All the kids in the city walk like me. All the kids in the city, they talk like me. All the kids in the city, I'm looking for something more. So you come from a broken home. Dad went and left you for a 17-year-old. Think about the Bible when you're all alone. Mama's always drinking and she takes it out on you. We're getting high, the thing to do. American kids living on dreams, but they just fade away. American kids gonna be somebody someday. American kids, I know that paradise is far away, and I'm stranded in LA. Who loves the American dream? Neighbors complaining, I'm not an angel, but I don't care, I'm turning it up. I'll be at the door when they leave me alone. It's Saturday night and there's nobody home, but we can turn it up loud. Turn it up loud. I'm gonna make you scream and shout. The fun begins when the lights go out. We can turn it up loud. Turn it up You and me were the kids with the power of cool. Dressing up in someone else's shoes. We weren't so tough when his mother died. They made us so cold we didn't even cry. When the world's closing down, the world's closing down. It's a sad, sad song. Yeah, we're dancing real slow. Yes, we are. We'll tune in the last radio show. Radio show.
All right, so that was Candy. Now, where can you hear them? Unfortunately, I do not see them on any of the streaming services at this time. You can buy the re-release on Rock Candy Records. I'm sure there's clips on YouTube. I'll tell you, the one time I met one of the members, I met Gilby Clarke after a show of his at one of the casinos, and asked him to sign for me. So gave him the Candy cassette, and he was taken aback a little bit. Wow, I have not seen one of these in a long time. I said, well, I've been a fan for a while, and chit-chat a little bit. We took a picture, which we got in a little bit of trouble for, because apparently you're not supposed to take pictures in a casino. So that's the educational part of today's show. don't take pictures in a casino. They do not like it. But he was cool, took the picture, signed it, and it was fun to hang out with for a few minutes. If you'd like to hear about these bands from the 80s you might have missed, or bands today that are playing in the same style and attitude of the 80s, hit subscribe. And if you want to follow me anywhere else on social media, I'm going to show you how in the credits right now. And thanks for watching.